No bandies can play. And our last top game of the week, North Lincoln travels over to East Lincoln. North Lincoln barely lost last week. East Lincoln has the ability to put a lot of points up with Chaz Surratt. Your prediction on this one?
Well, my whole time as I look back, East Lincoln leads this series 9-1. They've won 18 straight, the second longest streak in North Carolina right now. North Lincoln's only win was way back in 2007. They defeated them 34-7. The thing that gets me is North Lincoln, and this is your county rivals. You have lost by 1 point to Lincoln. You've played West Lincoln and lost by 8. So 63 points is what you give up, but you scored 54. So you have showed yourself that you can be in every game.
Right.
But this is going to be stout because Chaz Surratt can change a total game just from him being on the field. And I think tonight will be a tough test for them at East Lincoln, and I think Mike Bias and them will bring this out.
Well, I added this to the list because of a county rivalry. Well, we're going to take another quick break. Stick around. We got more to come.
Since 1986, Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby has been serving families across Shelby and Cleveland County. And today, Wayne Witherspoon continues the tradition of bringing you the best insurance at the best possible price with names like the Hartford, Safeco, Progressive, National General Insurance, and Travelers. Drop by their office at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby and talk with one of their friendly hometown agents. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, your independent insurance agency since 1986.
Blanton Cars is slashing down payments. We offer down payments as low as $500. We are the most experienced buy here, pay here dealer in Cleveland County. We have cars as new as 2010 models that we will finance in-house. We don't look at your past credit. Your job is your credit here. We have payment plans to fit your budget. Stop by today and let us put you in the car you deserve. Blanton Cars has 2 locations to serve you in Shelby. East Dixon Boulevard, across from Super 8 Motel, and West Dixon Boulevard, next to Meineke Mufflers.
Hey, you. This is your carpet speaking. Hello. Hey, I take a real beating from you and your family every day. The kids track mud all over me. The dog leaves a deposit here and there. The cat leaves fur balls. You spill hot coffee on me. And what about those potato chips and dip from the big game? Get me out of here. Bring somebody new in here.
For new carpet and flooring for your home, see Keys Carpet and Floor Coverage, 1162 East Marion Street in Shelby. It'll make life easier on your old carpet.
Norris Merchandise's beautiful furniture with bedroom, living room, and dining room furniture by the famous brands. Norris Merchandise's hardware, everything from nuts and bolts to lawnmower blades. Norris Merchandise's Carhartt clothing, featuring Carhartt workwear, casual wear, and rugged outdoor wear. And Norris Merchandise is an archery shop with a complete line of archery equipment and accessories. That's Norris Merchandise, 2011 South Lafayette Street, Shelby, online at norrismerchandise.com or on Facebook.
Where are you eating breakfast today? Have you tried the Hub Cafe located inside Medical Arts Pharmacy? The Hub opens at 7 a.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. on Saturday, serving an old-fashioned country breakfast at affordable prices. You'll find homemade biscuits, bacon, country sausage, country ham, liver mush, eggs, omelets, all cooked to order on the grill. Call 487-0511 or come on into the Hub Cafe for a delicious country breakfast located inside Medical Arts Pharmacy, 108 Grover Street, Shelby.
The Round Man, Okie Knipe, invites you into Okie's Tire and Service Center for all your tire and auto service needs. Okie gives you the best value in tires, both new and used tires, and they'll mount and balance your tires free. Come into Okie's Service Center for all your service needs, including radiator flush, brakes, tune-ups, oil changes, and state inspections. Serving Cleveland County since 1978. That's right, over 35 years. Okie's Tire and Service Center, 800 West Warren Street in Shelby.
Welcome back to the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show. I am Sam Davis along with Terry Reinhardt, bringing you the lowdown on all the games tonight. Terry, Lincolnton over at North Gaston, we talked briefly about that game. Cherryville travels to West Lincoln. We've covered that. Ashbrook goes to Asheville. That's somewhat of an intriguing game. Ashbrook has been on the verge of, they could very, very easily be 2-0 right now. Asheville generally has good athletes, so that I'm looking at that one as being another good game.
Me also, and the trip up there. I mean, there's your thing. You're going to get to go to a nice place. Everybody been to Asheville. It's a fantastic feel and everything to play on up there. Ashbrook, though, again, we'll go over. It's going to be tough to start 0-3, and this very easily could happen tonight because Asheville's not going to be a good place to win.
Well, that should be an interesting game, a good game itself. Hunter Huss at Bessemer City. Now, generally, I would say Hunter Huss would win that game easily, but Huss has struggled this year, coming in 0-2. Bessemer City coming off the 26-20 win. Is the classification difference too much for Bessemer City to overcome?
That is a tough thing for me to ask. Bessemer City impressed me last week by beating Cherryville 26-20. This week against Hunter Huss.
And now remember, this is a Hunter Huss with carry-on.
It is. He's back, and I think he's going to make the difference. I do not know. Of all the games that I think it's a toss-up, I think Hunter Huss maybe has more athletes, maybe. Right. But I do also know that Bessemer City, Coach Boone and them, he always brings a team that can compete with a lot of people.
Well, if I had to bet, I would bet on Hunter Huss to win that game, but it's more of a pick-em type game then.
Yes.
All right, and back on the carry-on more for just a moment. I've spoken to several local area coaches in the last week, and to the man, every single one said that carry-on more getting ejected for that play was wrong. It should never have happened. It's not football. Although the association backed the referees, they said they sent it out and had other referees look at it, and they agreed. Every coach I've talked to says that kid should not have been suspended.
Here's my opinion, and like I said, this is my opinion. I think he was suspended to prove a point, and that's just me. When I watched it, and I watched it a few times over and over and over, the linebacker that come over to make things, he could have pushed him over with his hand.
Right.
You know, well, he didn't do that. He's got the ball in his hand, so he lowers his shoulder. I don't think he went head on to him to lay him out or anything like that. I just think it's a statement that the state is trying to make. We're going to back our refs in behind this, and for the first week, I don't think they're going to overturn that at all.
Right. Well, I remember several years ago when the emphasis was on showboating and kids putting the attention on themselves, and there was a kid in the area that scored a long touchdown run, and as he was about to cross the goal line, he put his hand up like number one. He was penalized and ejected from the game, and to me, that is the most ridiculous thing. If you hit or kick somebody or take a real bad cheap shot, that's one thing. But, you know, I can see a penalty. But to kick a kid out for just putting his hand up, that shows you how ridiculous some of these refs can be trying to enforce the flavor of the month rules. And this year, it's targeting is the flavor of the month rule. So we'll see how this evolves.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you, Sam. As I said here, and I'm an umpire myself, and there are rules. If you do not throw the flag, I mean, you know, next week you might not even have a game. They might suspend you without a game for you not throwing a flag. Does that mean that another coach calls it in? Could happen very easily. You know, so being a ref is not an easy thing.
No,
because everybody that's up in them stands, you know, they got criticized everything that you call, even if it really did happen. And don't get me wrong, we've got great coaches around here that will come up after the game and commend referees for what they have done. You know, I didn't like the call, but you were correct. You know, but it's not an easy thing being a ref.
And I understand that. Yeah, but from the stands, and that's my job as the armchair quarterback, is to keep an eye on them. And I was at a JV game last night, I guess it was, and this kid on a punt, as the ball is sailing to him, he waved his arm up one time, just like that. Well, everybody thought, well, fair catch. He catches it, takes off running. The back judge didn't throw a flag. The other judge didn't throw nobody threw a flag. He actually returns it about 70 yards for a touchdown. They did call a clip and brought it back. But the other coaches on the other side of the field were saying, hey, he waved fair catch. I saw him wave fair catch from the stands. The home team saw him. The visiting team saw him. They were arguing about it. But not one referee on the field saw him signal fair catch. And to this day, I don't understand that. I know sometimes the referees say, well, we're going to support each other. And, if he sees it this way, that's fine. But when you obviously, everybody in the house sees it, but those 6 or 7 referees, you have to go,
And I would be saying that a lot because I'd be asking, what's my back judge doing? Back there in the bag, did he not see that call?
Yeah, because everybody saw it. All right, moving on. We've talked about Hunter Hess, Bessemer City. Newton Conover at Hickory. Hickory starts out the first week and beats Statesville, which shocked me. That was a perceived upset. And then last week they barely get beat, I believe 14-12 to a good South Iredale squad. So Hickory's on the verge of being maybe really good. They get Newton Conover tonight. Newton Conover upset by Chase, and this could be a very exciting game.
This is the 71st time
Wow.
these teams have met since 1923. Hickory leads the all-time series 46-22-2. Last year, Hickory won 21-15 in a tight game. I got a feeling you're going to see another one tonight. Newton Conover they should be 2-0. They still cannot get over the loss to Chase. For Hickory, a tough loss last week to South Iredale, 14-12. If you want to see a good football game and you're around that area, it is at Hickory. Make that trip. It'll be ever worth your dime and penny that you're going to pay.
Well, $5 to $6 will get you in there to see it. Other games of note tonight locally: High Brighton travels to West Caldwell rather. Fred T. Ford goes over to Bunker Hill. I've got a feeling Bunker Hill's going to lay it on the 40s. Would you agree?
I got a feeling they will. And with Fred T. Ford not having their quarterback,
right?
I think that's a huge part in their team that they've come through the whole summer with, and then not to have him. Whole team's different now. I got a feeling Bunker Hill has no trouble. But so going back to High Brighton and West Caldwell, High Brighton is averaging 60 points a game.
Jeez.
Right, I mean, they've only played 2, but that's
still
a lot. And then now you're having to play a team like West Caldwell who has lost 25 straight games. So this right here maybe will get ugly real early.
This is the mismatch waiting to happen. So this is another chance for High Brighton to put 60 more on the board, and it sounds like they probably will.
If they don't, then they took it easy.
All right, Pine Lake Prep travels over to Lake Norman Charter. East Rutherford, coming off that 49-42 loss to North Gaston, travels to Tuscola, so they're heading way up in the hills to play football tonight. R Central goes over to Polk County, so they're not too far away from Polk County. Drawn goes to Patton. Now, is this one of those 7-6 games?
Well, these two teams are 2-2 all time. Every game's been pretty close. This is 6th season for varsity football at Patton. They're 2-0. The last time they went 6-0 was a few years back, 2010. They started off 6-0. They finished 6-6. This is a good game for them to go to 3-0. Drone did not impress me when they played West Lincoln, so I don't think this is going to be too much of a problem for Patton to win this game.
All right, McDowell goes to East Burke. Highland Tech heads over to the Concord First Assembly. And our western part of the state game of the week, Avery County is at Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson off to a 2-0 start, Terry.
Can they go 6-0 again?
Yeah.
That's how they started last year.
I think they can.
I
think they can. And again, they're in a conference
in this
now.
Conference, that's what
they're in
said.
that conference with Bessemer City, Community School of Davidson, Highland Tech, Cherryville, and Pine Lake Prep. So I see some 2 or 3 possible wins in there for them. So this could be another great year for the Thomas Jefferson Classical Academy Gryphons.
Maybe another year to the playoffs.
Yeah, wouldn't that be something? All right, open this week. Maiden has the night off. East Gaston has the night off. And Crest High School also with the night off. And
I'm going to run over our longest winning streaks in the state right now.
Outstanding.
All righty, Northern Guilford has won 30 straight. They defeated Greensboro Page last week, 21-14, to move that streak to 30 games in a row. East Lincoln comes in next with 18 straight wins. Havelock with 16, and Plymouth comes in at number 4 with 14 straight wins. The longest losing streaks in the state are held by Smithfield Selma. They have lost 32 straight. Northmore has lost 29, followed by West Caldwell at 25 and Highland Tech at 23.
Highland Tech has lost 23 in a row. Well, I got a feeling Highland Tech's going to scratch a win off.
I hope so.
On the schedule.
Every one
this
of them
year.
guys, I'm pulling for every one of them.
You gotta feel sorry a little bit for these kids that go out there and bust their tail all summer, all fall, just to play for the glory of high school football. And if I was in charge of the world, I would make sure that every single team got at least one win each season, just so they could taste the joy of victory.
It is. And when that first victory comes and them streaks are stopped, hey, my hats are off to you.
Well, I'm going to tell you, these programs like that do get that final win, that finally get the win after 2 or 3 years of not getting one, all the crap those kids take, you cannot be any happier if you're a Super Bowl winner than those kids are.
It is. And just like you mentioned a minute ago, it's not the point that you're a South Point and it's hard for you to lose. I'll just put it like that because they are very stout and very talented. Don't get me wrong, got a great coaching staff and everything. But some of these schools, they've got coaches who have taught forever, and sometimes it's the rotation of things that come in. I know me and you have sat back before, and I told you that I love dynasties,
Right.
And I've was never a Chicago Bulls fan. I mean, Michael Jordan, to me, was the greatest NBA player I ever seen. But, when they continue to win, the Yankees, when they continue to win, it's a great thing. But a lot of people do not like that because they'll go against you because you're winning every week that you come out. But the teams that are constantly losing, there's a lot of people that watch them, too, to make sure that they can pick up a victory before the year is over.
Yeah, well, I like dynasties, too. It gives you something to talk about.
It
We're going to
does.
take another break here. It's almost the bottom of the hour. Stick around. We'll have segment 3 coming up right after this timeout.
Since 1986, Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby has been serving families across Shelby and Cleveland County. And today, Wayne Witherspoon continues the tradition of bringing you the best insurance at the best possible price with names like The Hartford, Safeco, Progressive, National General Insurance, and Travelers. Drop by their office at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby and talk with one of their friendly hometown agents. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, your independent insurance agency since 1986.
S&M Sports Shop is now your dealer for Under Armour sports apparel in Cleveland County. Come by and see the selection of Under Armour shirts, shorts, shoes, socks, and sunglasses. The team at S&M, Mike, Suzanne, Luke, Shannon, Dale, Ken, Darren, Dennis, and Charlie, is now your team outfitter for all local schools in whatever sport you play. They have leather jackets for all local high schools. Plus, S&M is your headquarters for Oakley Sunglasses. For all your athletic needs, go to S&M Sports Shop, located at 707 South Lafayette Street in Shelby. When accidents happen, it's reassuring to know that quick expert care is nearby. Carolina's Healthcare Urgent Care Shelby is now open and is staffed with experienced physicians, mid-level providers, nurses, and support personnel equipped with on-site laboratory and x-ray services. So keep our new location and contact information close by for immediate access to the region's preferred healthcare and largest physicians network. Carolina's Healthcare Urgent Care, 1010 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby.
Shelby Savings Bank.
It's just better here.
With local decisions,
Better.
flexibility, and knowing how to treat people,
It's just
Better. Better.
It's just better here.
we're here to help our neighbors do better.
It's just better here.
With our best deal mortgage guarantee,
It's just better. Better. Better.
Better here.
great products,
It's just better here.
and 2 convenient locations.
It's just
better here.
Now more than ever, Shelby Savings Bank. It's just better here. Member FDIC.
We all hear about how good the barbecue is in Lexington, Greensboro, and in eastern North Carolina. But here in Cleveland County, we all know that the best barbecue is here. At Alston Bridges Barbecue, Kent and Linda Bridges and their family make sure the staple of their restaurant is the best barbecue. Your choice, pork, beef, or chicken, plus delicious sides, such as slaw, beans, fries, and hush puppies. The best since Alston and Mabel opened in 1955. Alston Bridges Barbecue, 620 Grover Street, right here in Shelby.
It's the grand opening of the all-new Gastonia Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We have doubled our inventory, and during our summer clearance event, the savings have never been better. Plus, every new vehicle comes with tires for life, car washes for life, and loaners for life. Gastonia Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is now open 7 days a week for your convenience, and 24 hours a day online at GastoniaDodge.com. Experience the Gastonia guarantee today at Gastonia Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
And welcome back to segment 3 of the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show. Sam Davis along with Terry Reinhardt talking about different stadiums and playing fields throughout the area. And it's really interesting when you stop. We've mentioned Asheville, how scenic and beautiful that school is,
yes.
with that turf, that old stone school in the background. Then you go over to, say, Charlotte Catholic. You've got a little Cracker Box field right there, right in downtown, almost Charlotte, that people love. I mean, you are inches from the players when you're on the first row of the stands. Highland Tech, we were talking about that field, how on one end is you kick your extra point, it goes into the brush to be lost, or the other end, you kick your ball on top of the school, then you can't get to it.
And you have to go get a ladder to climb up and get your ball off.
But people will put a field wherever they need to have the football field, and some are great locations, and some are the best they can do.
And we've got some of the best around. I mean, you make Shelby High School up here a fantastic stadium. Lincoln High School, fantastic stadium. West Lincoln High, not bad, over there for their stadium. So we've got some good fields that are around this area. Cherville's redid theirs. Give them all the credit in the world. I mean, we've got fantastic, and just on kind of, I didn't mention you around here, but we've got fantastic stadiums around this area.
Well, I've told you this story the first week. The best high school experience I ever had going to a high school football game that just made me just fall in love with it was in 2001. I was working with another broadcast company doing a game of the week. We traveled up to Newton Conover to cover Shelby and Newton Conover. I don't remember the kid's name, but Newton Conover had a kid that was going to play quarterback at Nebraska the next year. But I'm sitting there before the game, and I'm looking out at the cheerleaders cheering, the band people getting ready, the people working, and I got cold chills just looking at that small. It was two 2A schools about to go at it. That atmosphere, small town America getting geared up for the game of the week, and it overwhelmed me. It was so cool.
There, we made the trip over to Thomasville, and you've ever been to Thomasville? Nope. It's a fantastic place to go. When they do your hot dog, it's got barbecue slaw. And it is fantastic to eat. I'm telling you, it was good. I mean, we got it. But on their field, on their front side is where they sit, and you are shipped to the other side to sit in that little press box they got on the other side. But, it was fantastic. We were by ourselves. We had all the hookups that we needed, and we was on Lincoln inside, and it's a fantastic place.
It's great atmosphere at some of these high school fields. Some are a little crappier than others, but some are just awesome, absolutely awesome. Well, let's talk about quickly the KTC broadcasting schedule for Week 3 tonight. The Gaston County Game of the Week. Hunter Huss is over at Bessemer City. It will be on video. Derek Smith and Daniel Howe will be covering that game, bringing you all the action. Crest is open tonight, so Andy, Rob, and Tim are in parts unknown, going to games, I would assume, or spending some quality time with their wives.
Exactly.
Burns travels over to Freedom, and the video, there's an issue with Freedom Schools not allowing the video, so they will be audio only. So Calvin Hastings and Dan Greer will bring you the action on ktcbroadcasting.com, audio only. Shelby travels over to South Point with Brent Pasco and Jeff Jones bringing you all that action. It is a video game and audio. North Lincoln at East Lincoln, Clint Spencer, Josh Collins will be bringing you that action on a video game. And what's the radio-only schedule?
We have it, and this is the WCSL 1590 AM. It'll be Cherville Ironman making a trip over to West Lincoln. Milton Baker and Danny Aker will be making that game. Lincoln County Game of the Week will be WLON 1050 AM. Lincoln will make the trip to North Gaston, where David Keever and Rick Mitchum will be doing that game.
Excellent. And don't forget, later this evening, the Marburger Autos post-game show, the big event with Dennis Davis, my dad, Lewis Carpenter, Tom Centofanti, and the ever-famous Terry Reinhardt. Terry, you're everywhere.
The big event. Now, these guys are big. Is that what you mean?
The Marburger Auto post-game show. But Terry, you do the pregame show, you do the postgame show, and are you still doing the Saturday morning?
Yes, sir.
After the postgame show,
doing sports talk on Saturday morning. Also.
So by noontime Saturday, you're about sports talked out, aren't you?
That's when college comes in.
Yeah. Hey,
jump right into it.
The love of my life, college football. We are now, grew up being a college football and basketball fan, and now college football, nothing better. I look forward to my Saturdays. I tell my wife, leave me alone. I'm watching football. Later on tonight, the Marburger Autos postgame show. Don't forget scores, recaps, interviews with coaches and different folk, phone calls, and just general silliness. Well, Terry, let's move on and talk about the next section in our segment. Non-conference schedules are about over. I had a coach tell me one time, he said, well, we break our season down into 3 sections, 3 seasons, non-conference, the regular season, and the playoffs. We try to win those sections. So if it's 4 or 5 non-conference games, we try to go at least 3-2. You get into conference, you have a winning record, and then hopefully by then you're prepared to win the 3rd section.
Every coach, and I'm the same way. When I coached basketball, when we went into it, it was the same thing. You got your non-conference. You look at your non-conference schedule, and I know in football-wise, if you got 4 games, the worst you want to come out is 2-2.
Right.
You know, that's what you're after, at least a 500 in them games. If it's stout competition, if it's not, then you're looking to go 3-1 or 4-0. When you get into your conference, and I must say the Southern Piedmont 2A conference is going to be stout this year with Maiden, Bandy's, Lincoln, and East Lincoln. Everybody that's in that conference, even Bunker Hill's playing well right now. But West Lincoln, when you get into that one, you start looking at wins. Well, every day out, you better bring your best game because you can end up going 0-7 in that conference, and it will not be that your kids did not come to play. It will be that the other team was just outmanned you for every game, you know. But, yeah, I'm with you. You got to go 2-2, and then you got to look at least 3 wins in your conference to at least get to 5-6 or 6-5, you know, to put yourself playoff eligible. The only problem with that, 5-6 or 6-5, you're probably going to have a stout first-round game when you start the playoffs.
So, and that gets you back to the concept of, well, we are trying to make the playoffs, but what's the point if you're going to make the playoffs and get your brains bashed in 49-0? Is that a realistic goal? I'm not so sure it is, but you can't win in the playoffs if you don't get to the playoffs. So I guess the key is get there.
It is, and I know, and Lanny Ford, he had Highland Tech. They've been to the playoffs one time, and their whole trip was to go down.
Hey, bring him over here.
I'm telling you. This is him. Comes Miles Austin.
Miles Austin. Hey, we want to welcome to the show number 19. Cute as a dadgum bud. Look at you smiling at me. And he has on his Dallas Cowboys shirt, Miles Austin jersey. His dad's wearing a Witten Dallas Cowboy shirt. So it's safe to say, Terry, there's not many Redskin fans in that household.
No, last week he was Romo. This week he's Witten. I'm telling you, I just wonder how many jerseys this guy's got.
Well, I'm telling you, he's raising his kid right.
Check. Do a mic check.
Check, check.
There we are.
Kevin, he is cute as a butt.
Thank you. So is Mama.
All the mama. Yeah, and all the mama. Well, let's talk about the Shrine Bowl watch. I added one name to the list. Carry-On Moore is a senior over at Hunter Huss. I think this kid has a real good shot at making the Shrine Bowl. If you will, folks that are listening, folks that are watching, send us your Shrine Bowl nominations. We want to know who you think from your team should make the Shrine Bowl this year. Now, seniors are only eligible to make the Shrine Bowl. Whether they went to the Shrine Bowl combine or not, we don't care. We think that a kid, if he's good enough to be there and he's a senior, he should be on the squad. Send your nominations to KTC pregame at gmail.com. And we will add them to our Shrine Bowl watch as we wind down towards the December picking. I guess they'll pick in November sometime or early December is when the game's played. So, Terry, any names that you can think of from the area that you think should be added to the Shrine Bowl watch list?
Well, you're speaking of our whole area. I mean, we could be mentioning quite a few. It's too early to me in the season. I mean, you're only in game 2.
As your phone starts going off. Hey, well, while we're going to get this phone call, we're going to take a quick break on the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show. Sam Davis, Terry Reinhardt, we will be right back.
Since 1986, Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby has been serving families across Shelby and Cleveland County. And today, Wayne Witherspoon continues the tradition of bringing you the best insurance at the best possible price with names like the Hartford, Safeco, Progressive, National General Insurance, and Travelers. Drop by their office at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby and talk with one of their friendly hometown agents. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, your independent insurance agency since 1986. Since 1900, the Stamey Funeral Home in Fallston has been serving the families of our area with the finest in funeral service. In 1998, the Tysinger family began to serve the families of the Cherryville community, and today are a proud member of that community, providing services with dignity and respect. Caring for your family like our own, that's their slogan. Come talk with manager Pete Kraft about the services they provide at the Stamey Cherryville Funeral Home, 405 North Dixie Street in Cherryville. Today's high school football broadcast is being brought to you in part by your local Jack in the Box. Visit your nearest Jack in the Box anytime, 24 hours a day. The dining room is open till midnight, Sunday through Thursday, and 24 hours on Friday and Saturday. And of course, the drive-thru is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, it's Jack in the Box, 3618 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia, 455 Earl Road in Shelby, and 102 College View Road in Dallas.
Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Nissan. Those are the powerhouse of vehicles you'll find at Marburger in Shelby. Plus quality pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. And of course, a service department that is second to no one. So when you're in need of another vehicle, see the friendly staff at Marburger. Marburger, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Nissan. 1310 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Proud supporters of our local school athletic teams.
Where are you headed after the big game? To Newt's on the Court Square in Uptown Shelby. Newt's will be open till midnight after the high school football games this season. Come out and celebrate on Friday nights at Newt's. They feature a $5 burger every day. And on Wednesday, our burgers, sandwiches, and wraps are just $5. Newt's features all Angus beef or build your own salad. For after the game or just about any time, it's Newt's on the Court Square in Uptown Shelby, open 7 days a week until midnight on football Friday nights. Like us on Facebook for our daily specials. Time for a new air conditioner. Want more home comfort from your air conditioner? Train and Forest City Heating and Air can help. Together, Train and Forest City Heating and Air provide the most reliable air conditioning systems in the world, bringing you quality, comfort, and guaranteed satisfaction. Train and Forest City Heating and Air are offering special year-round Train Comfort Specialist financing deals to make your purchase so easy and your family so comfortable. Call Forest City Heating and Air, your local Train Comfort Specialist dealer, serving Cleveland and Rutherford counties for over 30 years for all of your home comfort needs. Call 828-245-1379. And remember, it's hard to stop a train. See your participating independent Train dealer or visit Train.com for complete program eligibility, dates, details, and restrictions. Forest City Heating and Air, your local Train Comfort Specialist dealer. Again, call 828-245-1379. Hospice of Cleveland County announces the opening of their hospice resale store. The store is now open and features approximately 5,000 square feet of retail space. The store is managed by Angela Ballard Jones and is located at 323 East Marion Street, right beside of Dollar General. Donations are currently being accepted. For more information, call Hospice of Cleveland County, 704-487-4677. The new hospice retail store, now open at 323 East Marion Street in Shelby, right beside Dollar General.
And welcome back to the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show. Many thanks to Wayne Witherspoon and Justin Witherspoon over at Witherspoon Insurance.
Oh, yes.
I believe you probably know Wayne.
Oh, yes.
Longtime high school football fans and supporters. Wayne's been a big supporter of high school football for many, many years, and we want to thank them for their continued support. Another segment we started last week, What's Up With That, or the Class Act of the Week. We've asked the listeners and viewers to call us with your comments or email us with your comments. Tonight, while you're at the game, if you see something that makes you go, what's up? Why they do that? Call us or send us an email at ktcpregame@gmail.com. Terry, what's the what's up with that?
Well, I'll tell you what, Sam, this week's What's Up With That is going with injuries that are happening on the football field. I mean, you know, we saw Matt Williams from Fred T. Ford hurt his leg. He's out for the whole year. You know, a huge part for Fred T. Ford. We saw Zach Pollard, South Caldwell.
Right. Big loss.
Yes. I mean, it's a 3,000-yard rusher last year.
That was a Shrine Bowl kid right there.
Yes. You know, and he's done for the year.
Right.
I mean, Roseboro from Crest.
Dominic Roseboro lost to an ACL.
I mean, that's my what's up with this week. I guess my question for you is, some schools it helps, some schools it hurts tremendous. And I think the loss by Fred T. Ford with their quarterback is a huge loss for them for this year. And, you know, some schools cannot rebound after something like that happens to them early in the year.
Well, and a lot of times with the school, it depends on how important that kid is to the program. A few years back, Kings Mountain lost a kid, Cameron Harris. I think, was it Cameron Harris? Not sure if that's the right name. But they lost a kid that was their starting wide receiver, and he was their punter. And they lost him late in the season, did not have a quality backup punter, lost their number one receiver. I mean, when you lose, a lot of these schools, the kid does 2 or 3 different things: kickoff, return teams, punt teams, extra point teams. So lose your quarterback, that's devastating, your starting quarterback. Because generally high schools don't have an all-star as a backup. So
I did see this week in an article out of a paper where South Point has 2 quarterbacks.
They learned their lesson.
They did, because a couple years ago their quarterback went down and they were done. They were finished in first, because it takes a great cut to read what they're running, you know, and it really hurt them a couple years ago. And this year now Coach Lineberger has 2 quarterbacks run his place.
And that's what you have to have. You have to have a backup at every position. And I know in high school you can't go 3 and 4 deep like some colleges do, but a quality backup, somebody that you can say, here, do this position and do it adequately. And I saw the South Point game. During the game, they bring in this other kid, King, I think his last name is, Dontra King, and he takes snaps, he makes the pitches, he makes the handoffs. Hey, this kid's pretty good too.
Yes.
And he's like a junior or a sophomore, so they're covered the next couple of years having a quarterback. Their season was devastated a few years ago. Audrey Kell or somebody beat them in the playoffs when that Justice, I believe his name was, went down, broke his leg, and they just did not have a quality backup because the kid had not even hardly took more than 3 snaps all year. That coaching staff believed at that time, leave our starter out there, get as much reps as we can, and it came back to bite them. They learned from it. Now Mickey Lineberger is going to have him a quality backup if and when he needs that.
Exactly. So if y'all have anything for what's up with that, give us a holler again, you know, because we will put it on the air, or we'll say that you wanted us to answer this question, and we're going to give you an honest opinion, because if you're going to ask me or Sam, it's going to be honest.
Yeah, we will give you an honest answer. Let's talk about tonight's games that the Marburger postgame show will be covering. Burns at Freedom. Shelby travels over to South Point. North Lincoln at East Lincoln. Hunter Huss, Bessemer City. Lincolnton at North Gaston. Cherryville at West Lincoln. Avery County goes to Thomas Jefferson, or do you have the home games on the bottom? Do you know?
Yes.
They are the bottom teams are the home games. Okay, Pine Lake Prep over to Lake Norman Charter. And remember, folks, after the games tonight, you can tune into the Marburger Show and get the scores for all these games. I'm giving you the list of Community School of Davidson at Metro Christian, Fred T. Ford at Bunker Hill. Some of these we've covered tonight. South Iredale goes to Starmount. North Iredale to West Wilkes, Lake Norman, and Huff. Now, I want to just break away for a moment there. How do you get the sound H-U-F-F out of H-O-U-G-H?
Well, I'm going to be honest. When I first saw that, I called it the wrong name, too.
So you called it Hal?
I did.
Okay.
And I was told a couple of times, people called in and told me that's not how we say it. It's Huff.
Huff. I don't understand how you get the F sound out of O-U-G-H. But moving on, North Rowan goes over to Statesville, Bandy's at Chase, St. Stephen's at Maiden, Newton Conover at Hickory. We talked about that game. High Brighton will lay a big old whooping on West Caldwell tonight, it sounds like. My game of the week that I'm going to go see, Forest View at Kings Mountain, First Assembly at Highland Tech, Hopewell at Mooresville, and South Caldwell travels to Alexander Central. So all those games we're going to have scores for. Terry Reinhardt is the king of gathering scores. And if you want to know how a game ended tonight, stay tuned tonight on ktcbroadcasting.com, 1390 AM, 1050 AM, or 1590 AM, and you can get these scores right here. Terry Reinhardt will make sure you have those scores.
Well, we do our best. I'll put it like that. Our class act for this week is the schools, the guidelines for recorded ejections for unsportsmanlike acts such as fighting, taunting, profanity, obscene gestures, or disrespectful addressing or contacting officials. In 1997, the NCHSAA started this thing about giving you an award. There's 128 schools out of the 396 that got this award this year, and we had some in our area. And every year that happens, it's fantastic for me. East Gaston, Highland Tech, Lincoln Charter, North Gaston, North Lincoln, Shelby, Maiden, South Iredale, St. Stephen's were on this group for not having ejections. 2 schools, A.L. Brown and Winston-Salem Prep, have went 5 years without an ejection.
Now, how do they do that? Because some of these sports are so emotional, and these kids, with testosterone and hormones flowing through these 15 and 16-year-olds, they lose their heads sometimes. It's just amazing that a school can go 5 years and not have an ejection in any.
That's what I'm saying. You're talking every sport that they play, and I think one of the hardest things is football.
Right.
Number one, and wrestling would be another one. That would, to me, if you can get through those 2 sports, I think you've done well.
Well, it starts at the top.
It does.
The schools are promoting, do not lose your head, pay attention, stay cool, walk away. All the things that you're supposed to do in life, A.L. Brown, Shelby, all the schools you mentioned there are doing a great job of counseling their kids and making sure they don't lose their head and cause a problem for themselves and the school or some embarrassment. So very proud of those schools for coming through and winning those awards. That's a lot of schools you mentioned, out of 300 and something, over 100.
128 of them out of 396. And again, I want to mention that one more time because this is a top priority for me. If you can go through a whole year without any of that, East Gaston, Highland Tech, Lincoln Charter, North Gaston, North Lincoln, Shelby, Maiden, South Iredale, St. Stephen's from around our area, great job.
Outstanding job. Well, we've only got a few minutes left here on the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show. My clock says 6:53. We'll be here till about 6:58. But we're going to take another quick break right here on the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show. Stick around. We'll be back for the final minutes.
Since 1986, Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby has been serving families across Shelby and Cleveland County. And today, Wayne Witherspoon continues the tradition of bringing you the best insurance at the best possible price with names like The Hartford, Safeco, Progressive, National General Insurance, and Travelers. Drop by their office at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby and talk with one of their friendly hometown agents. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, your independent insurance agency since 1986.
A child's life is so precious, yet all around us, children's lives are being destroyed by drugs. Take an active role in your child's life. Teach them that a healthy, drug-free lifestyle is their best choice. A word from Hooker Bonding of Shelby, our area's quality professionals, a name you can trust and depend on. Hooker Bonding is working today for a brighter tomorrow for our children.
What's that? That's the sound of running out of your icy cold $1 Coca-Cola from McDonald's. That's also the sound of puppies crying, of sweet violin strings breaking, of a tiny baby bunny shedding a single tear. Okay, you couldn't hear it, but it was still sad. But buck up, my friend. Any size Coca-Cola, soft drink, or sweet tea is still just $1 at McDonald's, so there's more happiness to love. A la carte only. Prices and participation may vary.
Remember, it wasn't raining when Noah started building the ark. For all of your waterproofing needs, stay high and dry with a call to H&H Pest Control and Waterproofing. H&H Pest Control and Waterproofing does all types of waterproofing, from basements to crawl spaces, from commercial to residential. Call 704-482-2847, 704-482-2847 for H&H Pest Control and Waterproofing, East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby.
Here, lizard, lizard, lizard.
Oh no, it's total mayhem.
Hurry, call your good neighbor.
You can't. They're not even there.
Why, they can't even lend a good hand. Oh. Relax. At Pegram Insurance, we've got you covered. Pegram Insurance Agency, 220 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, and in the Town and Country Shopping Center in Lincoln.
Hey now! We are in the final 2 minutes, actually, of the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show. We want to thank you for joining us tonight, and we're going to quickly go over the highlighted games of the week, and we're going to make our predictions. We're going to put our necks on the limb, our professional knowledge and expertise on the limb here, and we're going to see who's smarter.
Alrighty, here we go.
The guy with the silly hat. Is that what the S stands for? Silly.
Yeah.
Silly. Okay, all right. Burns travels to Freedom. Terry, pick a winner.
Coach Beam, you're going to be mad. I got a feeling you're going to fall tonight.
We're going to disagree on this one. I feel like Burns has enough weapons to probably win that. But again, I don't know about Freedom's passing game, and you say that Gardan kid can play. All right, so we're disagreeing on the first one. Shelby at South Point.
Ooh, boy, I don't think anybody can stop South Point early in the year. So South Point.
You hesitated, and I thought, well, how can you hesitate? I think it's obvious South Point should win the game. Although upsets do happen, but I agree with you there. South Point will handle Shelby tonight. Should handle Shelby tonight. North Lincoln at East Lincoln.
North Lincoln, a very vastly improved football squad, but I do not think they have enough to handle with East Lincoln.
No brainer there. East Lincoln wins that one going away also. Hunter Huss at Bessemer City.
Coach Boom, I know I have his squad ready to play, but like you said, Moore's back. Hunter Huss pulls this out.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Hunter Huss wins that one. Lincoln at North Gaston. And another one there. Although I have to say, I'm not as sold on North Gaston as I should be. I still feel like Lincoln's got enough pride and tradition that they might can hang with them.
I do, but I got a feeling North Gaston wins this game.
All right, I agree with you there. If I had to put my money down, it'd be on North Gaston. And our final picking of the night, Cherryville at West Lincoln, and that's another one that I think we will both agree on.
All I got to say is fire the cannon. West Lincoln wins.
West Lincoln wins it. And one last comment. We've got about 30, 45 seconds left here to finish the show. What was your impression of Johnny football last week as Johnny Manziel comes back from a half-game suspension and hits the field?
Well, when I first saw it, I was very upset at him because I thought he was just being too showboat for himself. But after I hear that the other guy projected everything that he done, said something to him. I understand that, but the coach for him did it the polite way. He said a few words, and he even come on and they was talking to him, and he said, "I said all I had to say, and I was meant to the point." And Mr. Football sat out the rest of the game.
Well, I hate to see those kids act like that. I hate to see coaches do stupid stuff like that. But sometimes, Terry, the other side prompts it.
It
by
does.
some of their action. And we're going to cover that more next week. Should you take a knee? Should you run the score up? Are there times when it's okay to throw the long pass in the last 30 seconds of a 30-point win?
Yeah, I mean, should you call timeout when the other coach is taking a knee?
Hey. Sometimes, like they say, maybe they deserve it. So we're going to talk about that in full next week. Be sure to join us next week on the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show. You can contact us at ktcpregame@gmail.com. So send your comments, suggestions, agree, disagree, let us know. And be sure to, if you have a moment next week, give us a call. We've got 3 phone numbers. We'd love to talk to you to find out how things are going with you. Terry, any final thoughts?
Only thing I've got to say is people get out there, welcome these kids into the stadium. They prepared all summer for this. They're out there whether they can play or not. It's not the point of that. They're part of a football squad, and they go out there to win every night.
Support the kids. Be positive. Cheer for them. Keep your negative comments to yourself. Otherwise, shut your trap if you don't have something good to say.
Exactly.
But if you can't make it to the game, you can see them all on ktcbroadcasting.com. Thank you. Good night.
Along with Coach Jones, you're listening to the Cleveland Regional Medical Center Stadium pregame show. And, Coach, it's been 17 long years since these two last met on the field. And tonight they renew one of the great rivalries of the past.
Well, you're absolutely correct, Brent. And this is a rivalry that if you don't have a little bit of age on you,